Okay. Hello guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. So, I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? Guess what the day is, or how do you say that? What is today? What is today? It's my husband's birthday! I heard, I didn't expect to hear a reaction from the living room. My face is so red right now. Oh my god. Oh. Yes, he's so old now. I'm easily entertained, so and I cry a lot. And especially when I have like makeup around my eyes, it goes away. So I'm like, no, 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 no. I just put that on. But anyway, hi Yoka. Hi. Hey. Hey. What is Biden doing? Who knows? Not even Biden knows. That's a good one. Yeah, he's nowhere. Yes. I'm so excited. Bleach is coming back in 2 days in the US. I thank Tite Kubo for writing Bleach. She's such an amazing artist and mangaka. Cool. I've never read or watched Bleach, but yeah, my first like pen pal slash online boyfriend, like yeah, he was into that. 主持人、こんにちは。こんにちは。Japan is my greatest ally. Yes. Your name is literally Hitler. It's amazing. Yoko for Prime Minister of the world. Oh my god. I'm too modest for that though. But thank you. I appreciate it. Yoko, yeah. Yoko. Hey guys, hey. Hi Yoko, I have been meaning to ask, okay? What do you think of Prime Minister Fumio Kishida? Also, who is a good conservative in the LDP now that Abe is gone? I miss him a lot. Thank you. Yeah, we all miss him. Like still, even after Abe is gone, we keep talking about Abe and his policies and so on. Like especially, we're not still like getting over our state funeral for Abe, because the left massively campaigned against it, and we're still living under the consequences of that. But anyway, Fumio Kishida, our current prime minister, is a typical LDP prime minister, and he doesn't take risks, and he wants to, he's not a leftist, but he just wants to maintain the current situation. I think just my view, but he doesn't want to change much at all. He just want to defend what's here, the system and our national interests and so on. But at the same time, of course, our economy is affected by the war between Ukraine and Russia, and also COVID and all sorts of stuff like that you are going through. Like it's the same thing here, and so we need a countermeasurement, for that. But Kishida, like LDP, our governing party, is the party that is like a big government type. They're the position in our society is thought to be conservative, but that is because our society itself is left-leaning society. So so in our society, and also it's due to our just conservatism, not being truly conservatism, like because our current conservative people, we want to fight against the leftists, right? But and so the leftists, what they're doing here is just like in America, the left is imprinting white guilt, and just like that over here, the leftists are trying to imprint war guilt. So it's in our education, media, and everything. So war guilt coming from the World War II, saying that Japan was bad, that we invaded and we slaughtered all the Asians or whatever like that. So yeah, and conservatives, patriots like us, like we fight back to that, and that doesn't mean that we are talking conservative or in a conservative way, because the World War II time was a little unique, because it was already influenced by socialism and communism. So, and such thoughts or ideology was already in the government. So what we were trying to protect doesn't necessarily mean conservative. So LDP is not leftist. They often like counter the leftist ideology too, but that doesn't mean that they are going to go for small government, because we already have, like, for example, the national healthcare system, that we have to pay a lot, but for that like we can go to the hospital like not paying a lot, like as much as Americans do, and so on. But so yeah, so Kishida wants to just protect that, and so he believes that, just like any other like typical LDP politicians, they want to raise the tax, because that our very very strong political figure, Ministry of Finance, wants. Ministry of Finance, they want their money, so they want to get more money, right? In order to do that, they need to they tell or pressure the government to raise our tax, like consumption tax and everything. So, and during Abe administration, we did that twice. Consumption tax now 5%. Yeah, it was 5 to the 8, and then now 10. And so, and it damaged the economy. But just like in America, Biden administration, I bet they are accusing the pandemic for, like, before the war in Ukraine, they were bashing COVID or Trump administration even, maybe. But it's the same here, that they are bashing the pandemic. Oh, it's because pandemic and blah 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 blah. But it's not only that, there's a foundation of that, the economy. But Kishida doesn't want to change that, if you know what I mean. And who's a good conservative in the LDP now? I would say it's it depends on like how you see it, because the ideology wise, there are good politicians, like for example Sanae Kishi, no, Sanae what Takaichi. Like I have to reverse the name, so it gets confusing. Sanae Takaichi and Hagiuda and Hagiuda. And who else? Who else? I need to ask my husband. Uh, and also, like, we have our allies in the LDP, those who support us when I'm an activist. So when we do our activities, there are good politicians like Hiroshi Yamada and what's his first name? Furuya, Mr. Furuya, and Eriko Yamatani, and Gen Nakatani, even though he is now in a high class position, so he can't come to our event. But like there are many, but they're not. That doesn't mean that they are powerful. Like it's important to support that sort of politicians, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna. It's not like America. Japan is so old fashioned, and in order to uh, go to in order to get a good role, that where you can actually have the power, you need to have a certain period of time, or you have to win the election many times or something like that. And also you have to have many people in the faction that you belong to. And good politicians, like let's say Miss Takaichi, she doesn't belong to any faction, so like she's not powerful. But last time Abe backed her up, so that's why she got all the big group of people supporting her, even among the National Time members. But it's not gonna happen because Abe is now gone, and it's the power struggle inside of the party is very very uh, massive right now. And I guess that's the foundation of what's going on here. I hope that explains. Anyway, hello. Hello. Happy birthday, Hidesa. Yay, clap, clap. Thank you. When I was first learning English, I couldn't, like I couldn't remember or memorize which is clap and which is crap. Like it was confusing for me at first. Anyway, happy birthday to him. Thank you. Happy birthday to him. Thank you. Happy birthday, husband. Yeah. Happy birthday. Thank you. Happy birthday. お誕生日おめでとうございます。ありがとうございます。Yeah. Okay. This Monday is Columbus Day. Seeing how you are into American culture, what do you know about Christopher Columbus, founder of the United States? I have a friend who hates him because he stole the land. I was just actually I have a textbook, like it's not real textbook, but like an English teaching book, so it's a history book which American elementary school kids learn, and it has the Japanese translation next to it. And I'm right now translating the script for my English video that's coming up soon. It's about I promised, or we, my husband and I, we promised with you before that we are going to work on the like videos to explain how conservatism is in Japan and so on. So I'm working on that, and I couldn't tell like how to say things. So I went into the book, and it's so funny because I just read about Columbus, and I was saying to my husband how, like, why did he call the natives like Indian? Like that one misunderstanding is like has created the confusion for the past generations like ours. Maybe it's not as confusing for you, but like coming from another country, like it's like why it's so confusing. But anyway, when we Japanese generally think about America, the United States, we don't actually think about him. Like we do learn about him, going to the continent and so on in our school. Of course, we learn that, but uh, it's just part of the history, I guess. And for right now, I'm still like I my understanding is still like our normal education level, like what you learn in elementary school to high school. And so I haven't actually studied it after I started to have interest in politics. So I'm not gonna, I guess that I will refrain, commenting on what I think about that because I don't know well. And but I guess that it's an important thing that even I don't know well. Right. I wonder at the same time though, like how the liberals in the US are, because I bet that they don't like that side of history. There were natives and Americans, like, people came from outside and blah blah blah, and they have the white guilt there, I believe. So I wonder if they actually like studied well enough to judge and so on. Anyway, okay, thank you for your question. Okay. Did you see the Super Mario Bros. Movie trailer? Very exciting. Yes, I actually saw. When I can't fall asleep at night, I go to watch like gamers streaming, like Japanese gamers. And one of them actually was very impressed was the movie trailer. So like he was showing on the stream, and I saw that. It was great. Like it was it's the camera angle, and like it's so dramatic, and it's uh like it was, even though it was just characters, they were treated like real humans, in movies, and that was interesting. And the graphic is so cool, like it's so beautiful and it's amazing, like it looks real. And that's the exciting part for me. And also the story, I'm just genuinely curious of like how the story will turn out, like what is it about, and like, yeah, what kind of personality will the characters have and so forth. Yeah, that's exciting. Yes, お誕生日おめでとうございます。ありがとうございます。Kyoko, what country has the second most amount of Japanese behind Japan? What country has the second most amount of Japanese behind Japan? Oh, you'd be surprised that it's not the US. What? Amount of Japanese people? Like a real number, not percentage? I have no idea. I guess that it should be neighboring country, isn't it? South Korea or China? Maybe. I feel like Brazil. Yeah, that could be it. Cause yeah, a lot of people went on like South America back in the day, or Hawaii. I don't know. Happy birthday to the producer. Yeah. Yes, yes. Abe was a good guy. Yes. He was so charismatic. Like, man, Shinzo Abe is such a historical politician that like you rarely see in history, at least from here. Because like Japan is Japan, we are an island nation, and we are of course on the eastern side of the world. So it's different for us. Like we're isolated from the world, and we, even though we are one of the developed countries, we don't speak the language, like I do, but like we don't even speak English, and our language and culture is so much different from the West. And also, even though we have technology, like we're not good at politics and marketing and that sort of things, which the West is good at. But Abe was different, like he of course comes from a rich politician family, so that's his advancement. He's like he had this good start, and but he knew that, so he didn't have to work so hard on his election and so on, because he wins, because he already has the foundation to win elections. So he chose to work on the things that other politicians can't, even when they want to do. So like national security and economy and that sort of things that like normal politicians can't do, but what normal politicians can do, Abe worked on it. And also he actually did have a great sense, because I guess because he listens to people, he studies a lot, like he reads a lot of books. And yeah, one of the when our former prime minister read this like a memorial type of message for Abe at the state funeral, Mr. Suga read this very moving message for Abe. But even in that message, you can hear that Abe was reading a book, and that book was not finished, and the book was still on his desk in the National Diet Building office. And yeah, and there was a line that he highlighted a sentence, and it was actually like a haiku type of, I don't know if it was a haiku or tanka. I don't remember which kind, but it was this work, like a haiku kind of work that someone read back in the day when Hiromumi Ito was assassinated. So interesting. But anyway, yeah, Abe is just so cool. Like he's international, and also he was so good at diplomacy, and he knew what the problem was in the world, and of course our country too. Like he wanted to start from our economy. Anyway, hello, こんばんはようこそ。Happy birthday, Hideto san. Thank you. Happy birthday, Hideto. He wrote it by himself. Hidetoshi. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Hayaka, hello. So when will we get Hidetoshi speak on camera? I have no idea. He's like, then walked away. Like his room is right next to this one, and there's a hallway. He's like, he's old though. He's getting old. It's so funny. It's so weird that I'm married to this old man. Just
Yeah.
his.
Finally,
Hmm.
I became
Hmm.
26.
Did you hear that? He said, finally, I became 26. Ah. Like, the jokes that he says, they aren't even funny. I'm funny, but he's not. But he tries. And that's the funny part. Anyway. So yeah, it's like you have to add 2 decades to that. Will Japan go to war with Russia? Unfortunately, no. Yeah. At least like not with the current situation. We don't even have our military officially. But I guess the way that it could happen is America goes into war with Russia and we back them up. And that's realistic. I think that has happened before in the Middle East, but yeah,
ところが出ること言っといてね、近々。
さっき言った。Uh, My husband is tell all viewers that your new video will be uploaded soon. I'm like, I haven't even made it. But I said that I'm working on it. Oh, I just saw like so many comments now. Sorry, I'm so slow. Thank you for super chat. Native Americans were first called Indians by the Spanish from the Spanish phrase Indios, meaning of God. What? Really? What is Spanish? From the Spanish phrase. Oh, cool. Today's newspaper, handed by our producer, husband. Mm, so, so the Spanish people thought that they were of God. It's because they thought they were in India. Yeah, they thought that they were in India. Yes, that I know. And I don't know what happened after that though. Like I hear stories about like the native people versus Americans. Like I have to study first. Do you like cats? I do. I like everything fluffy. Whatever fluffy, even an owl or whatever. You want more silly and jokes? Okay, let's see. Let's see. I wanna read as much as I can. Yoko, today or yesterday you retweeted a video of a man yelling at some woman. I can't understand Japanese well. What was he screaming? He was a good guy, actually. It was the women were the bad guys, even though they were women. Uh, so basically, it was back, from what I can tell, it was back when, the left was protesting against the state funeral of Abe. So basically, they were complaining or just criticizing Abe, like those women were. And then they were like reaching out to people, walking by, and the guy who speaks like a yakuza, which I don't recommend, that by that, like I can tell like what kind of person he is still. Like even though what he says is good, I'm like, that is bad. But anyway, but the funny part is that usually when you see the picture, women getting together, protesting, and this yakuza looking guy yells at them, you usually you would think like, oh, these women would be protecting Abe, and this guy would be like attacking Abe, but no, it's vice versa. It's the total opposite. And the women were protesting against Abe after his death. And the guy heard it and he was like, "What are you doing?" And he has this fluent tongue tongue work, happening. That's the Yakuza thing. But anyway, so basically, the protesters were saying, like, like, what did Mr. Abe did for us? Like, he was bad. Why did he do for us? And he's like, oh, you know what? Diplomacy. And he was, and that was the only thing that we could hear. But he was going on more, like that's something that I could tell. But so, like, what are you? The guy was like, what do you think you are doing? Like protesting against Abe like this and so on. And then, like what, like how, like the tone of his tone, just expressed that he knows all this amazing achievements of Abe, and by that, like he couldn't take it that those protesters were treating Abe like nothing, or even like they were creating this false imagery of him. So the man was angry at that. So he got upset and he yelled, and then he was going like in a yakuza tone, very aggressive and loud. So the police came in and stopped him. That's what happens here. Like police always comes, like, oh, I'm the hero, like let me cut in. And they do nothing though. They're just like, look, on the wall, and they always comes in. It's funny what police do here. Anyway, it's your husband's birthday. Happy birthday! Thank you. Do you watch Masako Kanaha? I don't. I don't. There was a time I was meeting her and so on, but no, just different paths. Yuko, what is the current mask policy in Japan? Is it still mandatory to wear a mask in public places, or is optional? It's you can wear. No, you don't have to wear outside if you're not speaking. that's so vague, like you speak and then stop. Like, what should I do? And Kishida, our prime minister, his slogan is to part of his, like, he has two words. I don't even remember. Your decision and action. I think that's what his slogan is. And he doesn't decide and he doesn't take actions. It's the opposite of what he's doing. But yeah, he doesn't decide. He can't go strong because he's the same as Biden in a way. After Abe Trump time, very strong leaders. Now we are having in both nations, we have weak leaders. That's why, like, no wonder the world is chaotic right now. So I really hope that the pendulum will go back, just and swing back to the normal state. But yeah, so you don't have to wear a mask basically, but the majority still do. It's so weird. Like I wear a mask, because just like you have all your data and whatever, and that's fine, but I just choose to wear a mask like when I'm close to people. That's my courtesy. And also I don't know, it's not the protection, like it does protect, like Japanese people generally, like even before the pandemic, we wore masks, so and I remember like Westerners, like foreigners, they would wonder why do Japanese people wear a mask on train and so on in winter. That's because we don't want to get flu and so on. So that's what we do originally. So it's our thing, I guess. and we are super like hygienic people. So germs and so on, we are like we try not to uh, get close to that. So yeah, but anyway, so you don't have to wear that, but people do, and inside of buildings you still have to wear. And when you eat, at restaurants and so on, of course you have to take them off so that you can eat, but after that you have to put them back on. But I'm the kind of person though, I still like when I'm eating, I'm like, yeah, I'm still eating. And I don't wear as long as others do. But anyway. I'm gonna study in Japan next year for university. You should. I'm thinking of joining Nippon Kaigi. If not, I may give the random donation. Isn't too expensive. Each month early yearly for membership. Goes in for donations. Yeah, Nippon Kaigi is kind of like when you imagine like ACU, American Conservative Union. It's like a bunch of people just getting together, and it's an, of course, ACU is an organization or whatever you call it. It's a group, but like the coalition. It's a coalition, right? So Nippon Kage is like that, and it's more loose. Like they used to be very active back in the day, but today they're not very active. Or overall, like I feel like the conservative people here don't know, like especially now that Abe is gone, and like we don't know which way to go or how we are doing our activities. In Tokyo especially, there are lots of different groups, working on the like from the conservative side, but conservative people in Japan, we drag each other's leg. It's too direct when it comes to translation. Like a crab thing, crab example, like crab. Yeah, crab. So I don't know, but it's good though that you like. Yeah, I think that you first need to come here, and there are many events, so you have to know who is hosting each event though, to be like, you have to be careful because there are religious groups, like a cult kind of group. Like I shouldn't say them cult, but that's just get you the image. Like you don't know what you're getting into, so like you have to make sure what kind of group is hosting. And then also, like there are like business type of people too, so you just have to make sure that the people that you are getting together with, they're safe. So that's the most difficult part. But once you are into some kind of group, then they will tell you like where to go and so on. So maybe do the research first, like before. Like Nippon Kaigi is good, but just saying, like if you are here, you should look. Yeah. Do you keep up with your drawing, Yoko? I haven't been drawing as much lately. You see the drawing here. Wait, here, and there's one. No, you can't see that. There's another font there. I have a shop, online shop called Suzuri, but I don't know about like overseas shipping. Like it's like cups and glass and notebook and that sort of stuff, and even t-shirt with my art. But um I don't know how it works overseas. So man, I'm not good at all the business side of things. I know only how to speak or draw, or like generally like just perform. Like performing is my thing, and other things like business type of things, I'm not good at it. Okay. He thought he landed in India. But despite wanting to join Nippon Kage, if ever, I will never be a politician because I am not Japanese. I just agree with Nippon Kage on most stuff. That's good though. No, foreigners, like I don't know about the naturalization. Like if you naturalize, you can be, I guess, like there are naturalized National Diet members here, but conservative people might not like it. I don't know, because I see this Uyghur blooded woman who is such an elite. She was raised here, and then she studied in China, and then she worked at the UN, and then quit, and she ran for the last National Diet election. Such an amazing um, woman. Like she speaks many languages, I believe, like Japanese, Uyghur, English, and maybe more. And she, like, I look at her tweets and so on, like she thinks in a good way, but there were a group of conservative people, not supporting her, even though we are on the same side politically. But because of her background, not being Japanese blooded, I'm like, wow, like I'm not that intense. Like that's a gray area, that we can't generalize, but there were some people that were very, yeah, alert on that. But anyway, but regardless, conservative people very, very much love like non-Japanese people speaking on politics here in Japan. So there are several, even Americans. Yeah, like I am friends with them, but yeah, Americans and people from other areas like South Korea, and where I can't remember like right away, but yeah, there are many foreigners here in Japan making political comments, and they publish books too, and they sell well. So that's the journey that you could take, I think, that if you're truly passionate and if you can tolerate our weird culture among the conservative community. Like conservative people are a little, I don't know, like very old fashioned people. So I don't know if your personality would fit in, because I don't. Like I have a hard time, even though I'm a proud conservative. Sometimes it can be tough being in the community. Anyway, こんにちは。こんにちは。Let's see. Many Native Americans vote Republican. They share a healthy distrust of government power. Ah, I see. Interesting, interesting. Are people in Japan worried about North Korea on a daily basis, or is it just a background concern? Unfortunately, we don't care now, or we are not too worried, I guess. Like, vaguely, there is the concern, like when, the TV crews ask on the street, what do you think about this missiles, being launched from North Korea, which happened this morning, or it was like before 2 a.m., but yeah, in the middle of the night it happened again. But yeah, when the TV crew asks people on the street, they would say like, oh yes, I'm scared, or terrified, and I need to evacuate, but I don't know where, or blah blah blah. Like we hear stuff like that, but I know that people don't even care because it's we are used to it. The thing about missiles, North Korean missiles right now, why you need to know, like non-Japanese people, is that it's not about Japan. It's they're launching towards Japan, but the thing with North Korea is that North Korea can attack South Korea with a cannon, right? And then to Japan, they already have the missiles that reach Japan. And the current long range missiles, they're so long that it reaches, like just the other day, the one that they launched, it has a length that can reach Guam. And that's such a crucial place or crucial base when it comes to the war against China or North Korea, the US base. So it's about the US. And the longer that the distance goes, and also whether they can put the nuclear weapon on the missile. Like it's about reaching the US continent, right? So the mainland. So it's about America. It's not about South Korea or Japan. Like we are already in danger. But right now they're doing that against America, and so they're developing the technology considering America, and also they are doing that. They launch so many missiles. Um, like I don't exactly know the number. 25 times in I don't know period, but recently they launched so many times, and that is because Japan, South Korea, and Japan, America, and South Korea, we are doing joint military exercises, and so North Korea reacted to that, launched missiles, and we did exercises more, and then they launch more. So that's being what's happening. So as a country, like our leadership militarily, we are concerned. So not general people, like they don't like people are non-political people, they don't care about politics in general, like to begin with. But so our leadership, our top level people, they are working closely with our alliance nations, and also South Korea and so on. What's up? どうしたの?
What do you think about the candidate for Senate in Ohio?
Oh, can you say that louder? Maybe this microphone will pick it up.
You can.
Did you guys hear that? He asked you a question. Like he was just standing there for forever while I was talking about North Korea. He said, "What do you think about the candidate in Ohio? 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 What do you think?" I don't even know what he's talking about. I need to catch up. In the meantime, I will answer your questions. What is a typical Japanese way to celebrate birthdays? Like in the US, there's usually cake, ice cream, and presents. Yes, it's the same. It's the same here. Cake, and you blow off a candle or candles here. Is it only one, or in Japan we put the number, like many numbers of candles that equal to the number of your age? Oh, senator candidate in Ohio for midterms? 中間選挙?
もちろん。
For midterms. What do you guys think of the candidate? There's an FPS game called Homefront that has a setting of a reunited Korea and a hostage Japan. Taking over the west coast of America, kind of depressing. It reminds me of Red Dawn. Wow. Yeah, some games, like the setting is upsetting. Okay. I wonder what happened to the Hong Konger game, when there were many, massive protests going on in Hong Kong. Like Hong Kongers launched a game to I think it was like you play a character of a protester or something. Like there was a game like that. I wonder what happened to that. So the candidate. JD Vance is going to win because Ohio is probably the biggest MAGA state behind Florida. Yeah, I need to look that up. Ohio to come think. Oh, this one. Swing state says. Okay. Oh, the Democratic Party is now like coming after the Republican candidate. It's a swing state, Ohio. And Vance, okay? JD Vance. And he used to be seen as anti-Trump, but now he's changed. Funny. It's important. It's good though in politics, I guess. Like just the more the merrier, the more powerful. Also, the Democrats are now cutting into the Republican votes. So now, after reading that, my husband is wondering what's gonna happen. He's gonna win.
ヒルビエージ書いた人のことで言っておくけどね。
Oh, I have the book. Oh, 本当だ。本当だ。本だけに。本だけに。本当だ。Hillbilly Elegy, Jenny Vance. Sold million copies in the US, it says. TED Talk and movie. Actually have that. This is Japanese version. And of course it's beautiful because I haven't read it. I just saw this because the title it's a memoir of a family and culture in crisis, and like I remember this being very, I don't know, like a hot topic. So I bought it for $18. It's all in Japanese, just so you know. Yeah. Oh, so this guy. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. He seems good. Okay. Blake Masters? Blake. Blake Masters. What is Blake Masters? Venture capitalist. Oh, this is the other guy? Sorry, I'm not like looking into the election situation much. Like my husband is good at it, but like I'm like I just see the result usually. Oh, okay. Well, this one explains. GOP renews backing for Arizona Senate candidate Blake Masters. The Republican Senate still Republican Senate Campaign Committee. See, they are still backing Arizona candidate Blake Masters. I'm confused. The Senate candidate is in Ohio is okay. J.D. Vance and Blake Masters in Arizona. Oh, so you are talking about different things. Sorry, let's see. J.D. Vance, he seems good, and J.D. Vance is a product of the establishment. Okay. And Ohio is no longer a swing state. Trump easily won that state by a mile on both elections. Do you think it's changing though? Because our reporting here says that the Democrats are trying to get the conservative votes. Like they're pouring their energy, it says. So they are like repressing their Democratic Party tone, and it's easier for conservative people to vote. He changed it, but he knows Ohio is pro-Trump. He had to change. Yeah, what happens in politics? Do I see a super chat? Super chat, thank you. Always thank you for super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Did you guys read this book, Hillbilly Elegy, or did you see the movie? It's already made, right? Most American politicians are owned and controlled by the AI Paco lobby. What is that? AIPAC. Oh, Israel? American Israel Public Affairs Committee. APAC. Huh. Yeah, Jewish people has money. But they've been fighting against communism all history. So they're on our side. That's cool. Why are you laughing at Hillbilly? I can't believe you have his. It was a thing. It was very like it was a like what you call like it was kind of viral, I guess. When did it can I wonder when it came out. Okay. 2017 March. The first was published, and this version is in May the 3rd. The printing is like the 3rd version, and I bet that it was sold more. Huh? J.D. Vance is huge in Appalachia. All the literally academics loved him until he became pro-Trump. Oh no, that's interesting. There's a song called Hillbilly Deluxe. You might like. It's by Books and Done. Cool. What is Biden doing? Being senile, and having dementia like usual. Yeah, America needs a strong leader. So do we. I wish that either leader, in our countries, Japan or America, I wish that either of ours was strong so that we could balance it out. But both leaders are weak. Very, very bad. The Democrats are trying to get conservative votes because outside of the big cities, they are mostly right wing. Yeah, it's hard to get their votes when they support social justice warrior ideas. And they know it. More states are becoming swing states than they should. The abortion issue may have stirred a lot of Dems and independents. So it worked. It worked the other way around for them. That's interesting. People is the enemy. Yeah, I saw the news. I was surprised that they were gonna find people that don't agree with them, like political ideology. But they pulled that back, though. I saw the news that they pulled back. So I'm like, what were you trying to do? But now we know what kind of people run that business. It's very unfortunate. Like, if you I'm like, don't pick and choose who you do business with, like you should be thankful for all the people, including pro-Trump people that made the business big. Don't you think? I have not read the book or seen the movie. Oh, okay. We will see in November. Cool. America really needs a Trump win. It's better for war peace overall as well. Trump is a businessman and that will calm everyone down, and the world can focus on trading and developing again. Yes, I agree. Agree. Like, it's like Putin is out of hand. but maybe it's because he's been in being the president for way too long now, and also that his time will end soon, and knowing that he wanted to leave a legacy of his, like he has nothing to lose, obviously. And but yeah, when Trump and Abe was there, like Putin couldn't, like he was trying so hard though still, but like he couldn't go this wild. And Biden's decision every time is just politically, it's just wrong. I feel that he says the things that he shouldn't say, like, oh, America will not start the World War III, like they will not go into the World War III. Like that was the one of the first comments that he made, at the early stage. And by that, Putin learned that, oh, America won't come in. Like, of course, they will back up Ukraine. Like, that's something that you can tell. But, like, oh, America will not be here. That's the message that Biden sent at the very early stage. It might work well for the country, American people will be kind of like, oh, okay, we're not going to war. But then that was a strong message for Putin. Like, oh, America won't be here. Oh, let's go invade, right? And yeah, it's even right now, like I don't. It's like he's too honest, you know. He even reveals the fact that America will defend Taiwan, but it was supposed to be like a, what you say, strategic ambiguity or whatever, like that, the big word. Like it's supposed to be very vague, ambiguous, but he just says it and ruins the whole scenario or strategy or tactic. Uh, Very bad. So that's why I titled this stream, like, what is Biden doing? The man is too old. Like, being old isn't bad, if you are powerful and strong and very smart and sharp like Trump, but not Biden. He doesn't even know where he is or what he's doing, like what he's doing, on the spot. He wanders off sometimes when he's speaking. What? What are you gonna do? Like we know the leadership is lacking, but then the problem is the vice president is Kamala Harris. Do we want her or keep Biden? Like that's like lesser of two evils situation. Meh. At least I wish that my country, Japan, was strong so that we could support America well, but we can't because our country's leadership is wrong too. And it's all because, in my opinion, this is just my view, and it could be wrong. But from what I can tell, it's because how the Japanese politics is that our candidates, our politicians, they want votes, right? In order to win and to become a politician. So they, of course, care about what the people think, but what kind of people do they care about? The business owners and so on, who has votes, they have the whole company. So if the top decides to vote for one candidate, then the whole company will vote for the candidate because that's just our culture, it's our nemawashi culture. So it's our thing, like the organization, like the top decides to back up some candidate, like endorses a candidate, then the organization will vote for the most part. And so then the problem is the companies or corporations, what kind of business are they doing? They're doing business with China. So if our politicians or candidates insist on things to attack China or criticize China, that will affect their business, right? They want to do business with China. but they're attacking the China, then we can't back them up anymore, right? So politicians instead of doing their job, they listen to all this like pro-China industry, and that's how our politicians wars or policies are decided, because they care about their political life more than ours, like a civilian, like our Japanese people's lives. So it's in a vicious cycle. So some of the conservative mentors here, they go and lecture all this, corporations and companies to, let them know what is really happening. It's like before you do business, like our country might be hijacked. So that's something like some people are teaching the industry about that, and it's working better than before, but it's not enough. So, yeah. JD Vance worked for Peter Thiel, the man who started PayPal. Huh. He left and it got taken over by social justice warriors. Wow. That's interesting. So it's connected. Huh. Okay. Still processing the information because I had no idea. So the only ones you should believe are Trafalgar Poles and Richard Barris with People's Pundit, and nobody else is even close how well they do election polling. Oh yeah, the polls. I see. Trafalgar Poles, Richard Barris. I'll try to remember that. Should I take a screenshot just in case? I wish I had like photographic memory. Some of my like family people like they do have that. Biden. I have 2 words. Made in America. I cracked up so much when I watched the video. And he kind of, spoke it fast too, like made in America or something like that. And the first tweet that I saw about it was like, I have 2 words, like can't do math or something like that. Like it was so funny. Yeah. Kamala is worse, right? Because she's active, like she has like, why does she speaks like her voice is so nasal, like it's so coming from the nose, like it's so like that annoys me. So like I'm saying that not to attack her, but it's like it distracts me so much. I'm like, can you just please speak like in a normal tone? But yeah, she's like, yeah, our expert here, as I said before, our like Japanese professor who is his profession is about American politics, and he tweeted before that Kamala Harris is all she does is nothing but political correctness and nothing else. And I agree. That's the impression that I have of her. And this identity politics and everything would get worse. And I can imagine that she would take like communist type of policies. And what's wrong with Democrats, I think, is that they care about human rights and environmental issues. And as for environmental issues, they should, just like the Republican side is saying, they should just drill, right? Instead of trying to get oil and from outside. And like Biden's policy is just so confusing, like even the administration doesn't know where to go because the administration wants to, be liked by everybody, right? Or like the majority. So like of course they have to go for like green type of policy, like green policy. And at the same time though, they want to pull all these manufacturers back in America, like Trump was saying. And so it's like all mixed, and it's like, which way do you want to go? Trump era, it was so simple: make America great again, and America first. So saying America first, it's so clear, right? Like we know where the administration is heading. And so of course stronger, like you have to protect the borders, and you have to pull back all the business back to America so that American people can live better, and against all kinds of threats, like China and Middle East. Like you do things at the minimal level but very strongly, like very acute and aggressive, and just end right away. And yeah, it was, everything was so clear. And it was like he did get things done. Like of course he's a great businessman, so when it comes to politics too, like he knows what to do. And it was so simple and good. But now it's like everything is just dragging. And of course America is like I'm proud of my country, but America is the biggest country in the world, and it's a leader of the world, right? So when the leader is weak and don't know where the leader is going, the rest of us, like we don't know where to go either. And also we are affected by the consequences of the actions that the top country takes. So like, I'm like, please just get strong, Japan is strong in the is strong in the 80s. It had a really strong industry. It needs to be kick-started again. Even USA recognized back in the USA that Japan was maybe going to surpass USA economically and technologically. Yes, that was a threat for America. Like for a long time, like even the World War II, like we didn't have to fight, but we were like both countries were trapped by Soviet Union spies. Both countries had the Soviet Union spies, in the top level, like government level. And we are so like we were made to fight against each other. We didn't have to. And the business, after the World War II, of course, we had to, like Japan had to reconstruct our country. So we were working hard, and it was paying off. But of course America couldn't trust Japan at the time. And even today though, I think that if Japan, let's say that, all kinds of restrictions are gone, and all sorts of bias is gone, and or like America welcomes Japan as a true, like really genuine, true ally, right? And we start to do business together more, and also we are a great partnership. But if Japan becomes too strong, then I know that America will just try to it's not oppress, like repress or like suppress. I don't know the word, but try to take us down, because you have to protect your national interests. So like it's pretty understandable. And back in the 80s, I think that it was probably the same, but at the time I feel like it wasn't the information generation yet, and our communication was not good enough. And so that was not working well. But today I think that we finally learned that, oh, like it's not only America that fed China, like business wise. Like Japan did the same, because we couldn't be nice to each other. Like both of us just went to China, to do business, because we couldn't do ours better. So that's the negative history in both countries. So something that we need to, you know, uh, look at that and think, uh like, what do you say, like, reflect and realize, like, oh, that was wrong. So now I hope that we can be like a true friend. Yeah. Oh man, I've been speaking for over an hour. It's my husband's birthday and it's 3 p.m. Should I quit this stream? Uh, Deterrence is convincing your adversary that if attacked, you do something irrational, yes. That hit you with one missile, you respond with 200, yeah. Trump was just crazy enough to be an effective deterrent. I like the way you put it. Yeah. Like I think that from what I know, Trump was using the Mapman theory, like strategically. It's not that Trump was just being random. He's not random, Yoko. He was a good leader and he knew what he was doing. The tactic and everything, because he knows all of that from the arts of the deal, right? So he knows how to do deals. Do I have a book? I think I have the book. Someone sent me that before, but anyway. Yeah. So Biden is just being an old person. He's just being a grandpa and not a politician. You need strategy and the ability to actually do this, like work on the act on the strategy. The way I see Japan is that Japan is the Pacific Ocean bloc. Yes, that is their area of influence. That's why Japan is important for the world and the industry and Navy as well. Yes. So when you look at the world map, I have here, but when you look at it, the way I see it is, so China is there, and then for us, Japan, the fortress is South Korea. So that's why, like, if you look at our like Eastern Asian history, South Korea, like, you can just simply go to YouTube and look for the world history map, where it shows like, oh, who took the land and whatnot, like the coloring and so on. Like, you can see back and forth going, the border going back and forth and so on. South Korea is in the middle between Japan and China, and they're suffering in the middle. Like, oh, which one should we be on? Which side should we be on? And Japan goes to protect them because they can't fight their own, and we build, but then they fight back, and like the history is so chaotic. But so South Korea is like our block, right? So that's something that both Japan and America are pouring our energy into, and we really want to protect South Korea. And then Japan is there if that's bad, and Taiwan and Japan is there, and Taiwan, of course, America is doing a lot to defend, and for Japan too, and there are US bases too. But yeah, so after South Korea and Taiwan, it's Japan, and of course you need to protect that. But then it's Guam and Hawaii, and then the mainland. Ah, I wonder if American people, like people generally think about national security. Like, I wonder the national security sense is the same in America to begin with, because I've never lived in the US, so I don't know what it's like there, to live in the society. But from what I can tell, like, if I were American, I assume that the threat that I rather would feel would be the immigrants that are coming, like they're walking in, right? That's like a direct threat because it's right there. But at the same time, like, it's working in favor for China or Russia. Maybe you could see it that way too. The immigrants are flooding, so you pay attention to what's in front of you, so that you don't care as much for Russia or China or North Korea, but they're developing technology and that can reach your land, meaning that they can threaten you in negotiations. And yeah, man, what a world! Another Japanese YouTuber said the problem with the Japanese government is that it is geri, ge, run by LG voters. Yes, that's true. That's true. But what happens in Japan is that in our everyday life we don't feel any threat. You know, our economy is bad, so people are complaining on Twitter, especially. But other than that, you know, it's not like we have racism issues. Like we kind of do, but it's not as hot as in America. So it's not like, you know, people randomly punching each other or anything like that. Like that sort of fights don't happen. Sometimes like stabbing and so on happens as like a case, but that's pretty rare. Just every day we're just Japanese people living in Japan, and the minority are there, but the just majority, you know, we are Japanese people, and every day we are defended by our self-defense force and the US military and nuclear umbrella of America. So like every day we are safe, and we don't have to, and you know, our living standards are high, you know, like America and so on. So we don't have to worry about things. So what that means is that we don't have to think about politics, right? Because we're just fine basically, and we are protected, so we are not worried about stuff like that. And so what that means is that we are so focused on what's in front of us, meaning our education and then work. And when you start a family, you finally kind of start to think about the society a little bit, you know, like you need to know, like, oh, like when do we get the support, like the financial aids from government, you know, because it's kind of a socialism influence here. So like we have the system, so like a big government, so like people care about that sort of stuff. And also maybe a bit of what's going on in the world because they are investing or something. Like they care about their bank account and so on. So for that, they might read the news and so on. But that's about it. And it's only like after they retire that they get bored. Finally, they're bored when their hair turns to gray or white. So that's the cycle that we have. And especially those who are old now, they grew up right after the right after the World War II. So back then, of course, you know, everything was destroyed here, and they had to reconstruct. And I was not there, but from what I can see from video footage and so on, like it was pretty chaotic, you know. And like, of course, like politically the left, like communism influence was there, and the communists back then, like especially in the 60s and 70s, they believed that they could have a communist revolution, you know, worldwide. So they were like, oh, we're gonna do that in Japan as well. Some of them even was doing terrorism, you know, in other countries, like Red Army. So that was a chaotic time. And so that's why like you know, the leftists occupied the universities here as well, so it was affecting our everyday life. And probably that's why you know, some of them went into the political activities, and also um they were just aware of what was happening, so when they grew old, you know, they were still active politically, but not the people today. Our voting rate is so awful. It's so ironic though that when you ask about what's happening in Uyghur or Hong Kong, especially Hong Kong, like Hong Kongers, you know, starting especially, you know, in 2019, if I am correct, they started this massive protest in June, and it was about their self-determination. You know, they wanted to pick their own leaders, but the more time went by, the less that they could reflect their voices. So they were fighting for that in order to have the election, for them, like of their own. And Japanese people, like when they hear that, we are like, oh yeah, Hunger Girls, go, go, go. Like we were cheering up, but some of the people, they don't even go vote. Like how ironic is that? Like, people here just don't understand how precious one vote is, or the fact that you can be a candidate. But man, at least I'm here though, so that I can I can give a lecture on these youngsters. Anyway, I'm talking forever. Sorry. Wait, Kamala. Yokomo Kama's voice is cutest thing ever. I don't know. Made in America. She's about to break down kind. Yeah. Oh, Tashidele, Tashidele. Sorry, I noticed way too later. I should probably go take care of my husband because it's his birthday and I'm not doing anything. I did make a breakfast for him or lunch, which I rarely do. I'm an awesome wife. I'm like, do it on, treat yourself. Tell your husband happy birthday from us. Thank you. Go celebrate with Hide. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. And that's like from what, 15 minutes ago. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I can see His Holiness Dalai Lama pictures behind you. Yes, it's like His Holiness here and Panchen Lama, like English and Japanese version. And yes, and this is like His Holiness with our people, and Lobsan Senge, the former Prime Minister, or no, Sikyon, President in English, Sikyon, yeah. And I have Abe, and then Trump, and Trump hat, and another Trump. Sydney, Australia. Oh, nice. Man, I want to go to Australia. Most Americans never think about national security unless they have family in the military. Oh, I see. I see. Go give Hide some beautiful Japanese babies for his birthday. He should give me, rather. Okay. I mean, thank you so much for all these comments. Sorry I couldn't take up everything. Yeah, it's my husband's birthday. Happy birthday to your husband. Thank you. Welcome. We are here waiting for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Go sit. Yeah, I'm the president. Yeah. What is your opinion of Kanye West now? Oh, yeah, is Kanye West? I couldn't tell. Like, I did see that. Yeah, I'm like, who is this? And I was even watching the Fox News footage, like interview. There was an interview on Fox News, and yeah, speaks on spirituality. I'm like, who the hell? I see now. Huh. Yeah, why lives matter, right? Of course it does. I do care so much about Tibet. Man, Tibetan culture and history, it was never part of CCP. And we are here to stand for Tibet. I have a small group here in my prefecture. We named it Free Tibet Fukuoka. Like Fukuoka is our prefecture name. And I'm the president of the group. So we do protests and so on for Tibet. Yes. Okay. Guys, remember Yoko is in live every Saturday this time. Yes. By the way, happy birthday to your husband. Thank you. Thank you very much for your answer and supporting for my country, Tibet. Of course, of course. We are in this together. Yes, and I was on Radio Free Asia Tibet version earlier, like twice. At the end of September, I commented, and they used my comment twice and one separate video. So if you are curious, okay, I'm gonna go because it's got long. Thank you so much always for coming, and yeah, like someone said, yeah, Sonamla said that yes, I always live stream this time every week. So come back again. Hopefully, I will do it earlier, but it just depends on my health condition. Yes, I'm not a very healthy person, so. Okay. We will never give up free Tibet. Yes, we got a free world. Bye bye. Nice to see you, Facebook. Okay, thank you guys. Sorry if you are on the other side of the world. It must be very late. Thank you for wishing the happy birthday for my husband too. I really appreciate it. So does my husband. Gotta go. Now you can sleep well, right? Okay. Oh yeah, face to face one time. Yes, that'd be cool. Yes. Oba, obayo. I like that. I like that. Oba. That's our thing now. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a great night or good day. Okay. No, I'm gonna go. I have a free will. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a great night or day. Okay. See you next week. Okay. Bye.